Okay, so I want to show people here who are getting a little bit more familiar with my website and aura and energy, how to learn about your aura and how to feel your aura and touch your aura and recognize the senses that you have and the different sorts of things you can do with it. Now, the higher the frequency, the stronger the aura is going to be. So if an individual is in a state of a very low, the chakra, the Muladhara chakra, if you're very low energy, fearful, always in survival mode, angry, hateful, worried, greedy, it's going to be a very red energy, and the energy is going to be very heavy usually. Red to dark energy is going to be very heavy. Um, the higher you go up in frequency and the higher you go up in energy, when you get more into your heart chakra, the throat chakra, you start using your third eye, you get into the crown chakra, these energies get more light. The highest frequency, the color is violet. That's why in the crown chakra, you notice how it looks a little purple and more violet. The light spectrums that we can see are changing a little bit because we're moving from we're past third density right now. We're moving more into a fourth density, and so the light spectrums are changing. We're starting to see colors that we weren't able to see definitely 100 years ago, and so. But violet still reflects the highest frequency. Matter of fact, I want to make a point. If we were to physically appear into a reality that what you would call 1,000 years ago, we would actually be glowing. We would have light around our bodies, and to the people at that time, they would see us as glowing because our electromagnetic frequency would be so high on the earth we're on now. It would be so much different. Our body is rotating at many more cycles. Okay? So, aura has to do with energy, cycles, frequency, all this stuff. So that's why in biblical texts, and when you speak to people in modern times, when they say, I've seen an angel, or I've seen an extraterrestrial being, and it was glowing, it was bright light, this entity is operating at a very high rate of cycles, so therefore it is emitting more frequency, more energy, and the light is brighter. Now, currently right now, again, one thing you can do is hold out your hands and just go like this 75 times. I might do a little bit more than 75 just to get, you know what I mean? Just for good measure. Okay. And then after that, you take your hand and you move it like this. I can feel the energy. I can feel a touch from here to my hand, but I'm not touching it. That's aura energy. That's frequency. That's energy. That's just pure energy. And then you can get into a thing like this, and then you can sort of create a ball of the energy, a ball of light, and you can actually, you can get really cool with it. You actually envision yourself, somebody can walk up to you, you can just create this energy, put it into a ball, and just pass it on to the person, and try to heal them or something like that. There's people who have lost their arms, and they have a CAT scanner. What are those scans where you can still see it? You can still see the line where their hand used to be. I forget not a CAT scan. What is it? Is it not night vision, thermal vision or something? I can't. I don't know. But they can still see the outline of the hand through the scan, and so that is something that is there. As you always have, a light version of your body, and then your spirit. Again, your body is in your spirit. Your spirit is much bigger than your body. It goes out in a big sphere around you. And where you go, the energy around you activates all the people, all the things. So if somebody is coming from a very low frequency and they walk into a room, the room is going to react to that low frequency. People come into a room with a real negative attitude, you're going to be like, man, like I got to get away from this person. If somebody comes into a room with a real good personality and a real good energy, you're going to be like, oh, I like that. That's that guy. He's funny, or she's funny, or she's cool, or he's cool, or whatever. Like, what's their name? I want to talk to them later on. You want to be around the energy. And so energy and frequency has to do with each other. Let me say. The more you radiate with that and you synchronize with that, a higher frequency, the more in that direction you'll go. If you're saying things that are truthful and honest, and you're being upstanding, and you've committed yourself to helping others and being charitable, and you're standing on certain principles that really mean something, that will be picked up. And you will be recognized, and you will go with that energy. Now, if I'm being lying and deceptive, and I'm not being who I am, and I'm doing things that is not favorable of me, I will find my energy going in that area, and things of that nature will begin to happen. So your energy dictates what pathways you go through. But a lot of people get caught up in, is this person evil? Or is this an evil person? Is this a good person? Is this a bad person? I don't think the universe really necessarily works that way. I just think what you put out comes back. And if you want to sustain a good measure and a good energy, then you have to figure out, these are the things I want to experience. I want people to treat me kind, so I'm going to be kind. So if I go out and I start doing wrong, that's going to come back to me. People are going to treat me the same way. If I'm lying and running around talking bad about people behind their back and all this sorts of stuff, that's going to be picked up by the universe. But if I'm out there and I'm trying to help people and do good for people and do all this stuff, that's going to be picked up by the universe. And so it really depends. And at this point in time, it's 2018, and we're moving into the era of 2020. Nobody on the planet Earth is unaccounted for. Everybody everywhere is perceived some degree or another by would you say angelic realms, by human realms, by all different sorts of realms. And so nothing you do goes unseen or unnoticed. And so there's a lot of, and the curtain gets pulled down more and more and more and more, to the point to where a lot of people feel that, hey, what I could do and I can get away with 20 years ago, I might not be able to get away with now. Therefore, I have to change. I have to change my attitude. I have to change the way I address others because of the energy state we're moving to. So, if you didn't like your boss 20 years ago, and you said all these bad things about your boss or whatever, or you said all these bad things about your coworker or your friend or whatever, 20 years ago, the person you were, that might have been cool, but now you got to find a different way. You got to try to co-create more with your boss or co-create more with your coworker. A lot of people, I don't care who you talk to. I don't care who you talk to, what job you talk about, what corporation you talk about, business, whatever. A lot of people don't seem to agree with their boss. They don't seem to get along with their boss. For some reason, it just seems to be a universal principle. If you go to somebody and you say, listen, your boss, blah, blah, the person usually say, man, tell me about it. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So there used to be a time where a lot of people would get angry. You work, whether it be McDonald's or a bank or whatever, you don't get along with the boss. Now people are starting to learn, you got to learn to co-create with these people. You got to learn to work with the people above you, the people below you, the people on the side of you. Everything has to go in sync and in harmony as best as possible. And finding a place that's right for you. Finding an energy balance that's right for you. If you want, there's a certain type of work you want to do, look at the people who are doing it. Is that representative of your state of energy? If it's not, it might not be for you to be there. Or you may have to change the way you interact with those people. You may get in there and not really like it and feel, wait a minute, my energy isn't sustaining this reality properly as I would like it. So you may have to, try to be a little bit kinder to people, try to do things a little bit differently to change the mood and the energy of where you're at. If you can, a lot of people are finding themselves in a position where they have to co-create a small business. They have to be creative and invent their own stuff. And so, So it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky, the things with the energy and dealing with the others around you. But anyway, so that's how you figure out about aura. Another thing is you can go like this. You can take these fingers. See these two fingers? Put them on the top of your spine, like this, where your spine is, right before your neck, and then take these two fingers, like this, and then put them in the solar plexus like this. You'll get a big jolt of energy boost immediately. It'll come in. You can do it the other way. Now, if I was to have somebody standing next to me, I could take my fingers like this, and then take these two fingers and connect them with their fingers. Then there would be an energy exchange like that. Go ahead and try it. If you haven't tried this yet, try it. You'll feel the energy. You'll feel the energy boost. Try the thing with the hands. You'll feel that. Now again, you know, the chakra stones. On my website, JameelRawls.com, I offer a free chakra test and free chakra treatment to basically anybody, you know. So pets, dogs, cats. And then I even do, like, I'll do free work, you know what I mean, like channeling. That's something I can do. We can channel the different spirit guides you have for each chakra. You have 7 chakras. So from the root chakra to the crown chakra, there's a spirit guide for each one. And that spirit guide is responsible for guiding you in this life and providing insight into the different themes you are working. And so a lot of them work with you in your subconscious and your dream state. If you would like to make it more aware, the energy, the insights they're giving you, more availability of that, we can, through meditation, connect with this energy and see what this entity, what type of insight it has for you in your life. Yeah, these are the 7 chakra stones. So you can place one of these stones on somebody's back, right above the chakra center. And the chakra energy isn't in the body. It's not in the spine. The chakra energy is like a ball. It radiates beyond the body. You just can't see it. It's etheric. And these stones pick up on that energy. And then your belief, your intention. If you're somebody who really, really believes that you won't get any help, you just don't believe it. You say, I can't get any help. Nobody's going to help me. These stones aren't going to do anything for me. If you are strong in that belief, they probably won't. They most likely won't. It's like the placebo effect, where somebody will say, you know, I'm sick, I need help, and the doctor will give them a sugar pill. And the sugar pill will heal them. The doctor will say, oh yeah, I'm going to give you this pill, and we're going to heal your illness. And the doctor gives the person a sugar pill. It's the person's mind that healed themselves. It was their belief in the pill to heal themselves. So on the flip side, if you have a belief that you cannot get help, that none of this stuff will help, you probably won't, because you truly don't believe in your mind. But for people who are a little bit half open to it, and they're saying, okay, I want to try this chakra treatment, what can this do for me? I'm a little bit unfamiliar with it. The first thing to do is to get a massage. Now, currently, I don't massage men. It's just something I don't feel comfortable with doing. But, you know, I do free. I do. You know, if people give me donation, that's wonderful. That's wonderful to support somebody. But oil massage for women. But I want to use these chakra stones more. The chakra stones will affect the cycles in the body, the energy that the person's radiated at. And it will pick up emotional disturbances. It will pick up on a lot of stuff. And the person will have to address it. A lot of people who do chakra work, they really don't talk to the person as much when the person's doing it. They want the person to meditate. But if you do sort of like an integrative type of therapy where you ask the person questions like about, you know, what has been bothering you. A lot of people say, well, I'm angry. Well, anger is a general feeling. Anger is a really general feeling. It doesn't mean too much. Anger usually stems from something much deeper, something much more. So you say, well, what's below that anger? Oh man, this person, usually it'll be an insecurity, which, comes up to a fear, then an anger, then eventually a hatred, but usually it stems at an insecurity. So if you can place the chakra stone on the person and get them into a good state, and then to talk to them about that insecurity and get them to work with it, the person, from a subconscious perspective, you're doing it consciously. You're talking to the person consciously, but they're bringing it from the subconscious. The subconscious still is conscious. It's all consciousness. But they're bringing these insecurities out from the subconscious, and you're bringing them to the surface. And you're speaking with the person, and energetically, you're working on the Pacific chakra, fear, insecurity, loneliness, panic, paranoia, all this stuff. You begin healing the person at that point. As you move up the chakras, it's different themes. The second chakra, that's a very sexual energy. A lot of times, people who are experiencing the second chakra, they find themselves far more sexually active. A lot of things are very simple. You can provide somebody with an orange. If whatever chakra you're working on, the color that's reflective within fruit, vegetables, whatever, that's the fruit or vegetable the person needs. They need something reflective of the color of the chakra. So again, a red apple goes with the red chakra, the first chakra, the root chakra. An orange goes with the second chakra, all the way up to the throat chakra. Blueberries. And this actually works. There's something within these fruits and these vegetables that are actually helpful to heal people. And there's people who take baths in like cranberry juice, and it all works. All this stuff has amazing effects on people. We'll get into that further on at another time with healing remedies. So if I'm having issues with my second chakra, and I go out and I have some oranges, it's going to be healed to some degree or another. Especially if I'm conscious of it. If I'm really conscious of it, I say, you know what, the second chakra is orange, I'm going to go eat some oranges. That's going to have an effect. Now, using these chakras, expressing these chakras, again, if you're at the throat chakra and you're using your throat chakra a lot, it's going to open up your sixth and your seventh chakra. Speaking your truth is going to open up your intuition in a lot of different ways. The seventh chakra, the crown chakra, has to do with DMT, the pineal gland. The pineal gland is most active between 12 and 3 a.m. Between 12 and 3 a.m. That's when the most paranormal activity in your house will occur. If you ask people, when does all the paranormal stuff happen? If they're asleep, they'll have really intense dreams, really, really wild and crazy dreams. If they're awake, they'll say, I saw a ghost last night. What time was it? 2 a.m. I heard some noises in my house. Yada, yada, yada. It wasn't the house squeaking or cracking. You were picking up on these things. So again, the pineal gland produces DMT naturally. And there's people who go all the way to Latin America to eat ayahuasca to experience these things. And they'll actually get spiked. Somebody who takes DMT through ayahuasca or something at a high dose, they'll get spiked. Their awareness will get spiked into all the way up into the sixth density. They can actually see spirits and things around them. These spirits were already there. But their consciousness got altered and elevated to be able to perceive this in their reality. Okay? Now, again, with the pineal gland and DMT, that's the crown chakra. And the energy is violet. It's more of a violet energy, and it has to do with intuition and knowing stuff deeply. Me, myself, I get energy brought to me. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there, and I'll have some information given to me. And I'm not really sure about where it comes from. It's not somebody speaking audibly to me or anything like that. It's concepts I get. It's almost like I'll have a wave of information, and I'll be thinking, how did I figure that out? How did I know that? I don't know. Somehow I'm able to access this from the crown chakra. Anyhow, so that's about it. Get more in touch with your natural etheric abilities, connecting with people and things around you. Get more in touch with the different chakras, how to heal those, how to stay in balance. Another thing I do is I talk to people and I speak on the phone with a lot of different people, and we do what we call mantras, and you can say with people, We are in the light. I'll sit here on the phone and I'll be talking about that. We are in the light. 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 We are love and light. We are love and light. We are love and light. We'll say that so many times, and as we say that, the frequency actually elevates. It actually elevates instantly. The energy elevates. Everything elevates, and so it's really cool. It's a really cool experience. What I want to do is I want to have people get more aware also of astrology. Now, I'm not somebody who looks at astrology as far as like horoscopes, like, you know, what kind of job or what type of person do I want to meet. I look at astrology a lot different. I even look at it like what stars you were directly born under. If you were born on a certain date, and your birth date or whatever, or something happened on a certain date, an event happened on a certain date, and you want to find out, well, what stars were it under. There's now sites, and there's astronomical people you go to, teams and stuff you can go to, and figure out what stars were directly over the people when it happened. How did the universe look at that time? What was the major constellation? So on July 15th, 1985, when I was born, there was a constellation directly above me at a certain time. Had it been, it depended on what time I was born. If I was born at 4 a.m. or 1 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 9, you know, I was born somewhere between about 3 and 5 a.m. And so there's a couple different constellations it could have been directly above me. And so that's, you know, it could have been Andromeda. There's a couple of them it could have been. And so people have to look and see what constellation was directly above me when I was born. And you can find out more about the constellation. There is sort of like a metaphysical principle to it. There's meaning to it. And so that's an astrological perspective. If you look at so it's a little bit different than just, hey, I'm a Sagittarius and blah, blah. That's easy, common stuff. You can figure that stuff out quick. But you can use astrology in many different ways. I always use this analogy. I use it so much. I always tell people that the moon has a great effect over water. Rivers, lakes, and oceans. It has a great gravitational pull on the water. And so even the life at the bottom of the ocean go on the lunar cycle. Even women, the menstrual cycle and the lunar cycle is the same. So if all this water, rivers, lakes, and oceans around the world, all the seas and all this stuff, have a great relationship with the moon, where the moon pulls them, you got to think humans are over 90% water. So what does that mean for humans? Humans are greatly affected by the moon. So if there's a full moon, like there was on the 1st, January 1st, 2018, if there's what you call a black moon, where the moon is just black, you know, an invisible moon, or whatever like that, it really depends. But you're affected by this. There's a relationship, like the words lunar, and you can say, well, that was lunacy. Lunacy, that comes from a lunar effect. They say he was a lunatic. They say it's a full moon, the lunatics are going to be out. And so, see, there's a relationship between that, between the moon, between people, between the chemistry, the water and stuff within their body, their the chemical. But it doesn't mean a bad thing. Just because a full moon's out doesn't necessarily mean somebody's going to do something bad. That's just kind of like a storyline that a lot of people use, like in movies. It's a full moon, or in a magazine, a horror book or something. It's a full moon. It doesn't mean anything bad is going to happen. It just means people are going to react differently to it. Same thing with the number 13. Number 13 means transformation. That's all the number 13 means, is transformation. And a lot of people use the number 13. A lot of people say it's unlucky. And they put it in, horror movies like Friday the 13th. A lot of people are being killed. Well, in a way they're transforming because they're dying and they're going back into spirit. So it is kind of like, subliminal. Yeah, it's transformation. But it doesn't mean anybody's going to get hurt or there's anything bad that's going to happen. It's just a number of transformation, 13. And so, again, so this is my show, Modern Mystics, and And so hopefully I will have my friend later on this week, or maybe tonight or tomorrow, help me with an astrology reading that I can do in an interview format so people can hear her give the astrology reading, and I can ask her questions, and then I might get her on three-way with another friend of mine, and then I want to hear her do an astrology reading for that person and see how that goes. I have somebody who I speak with that is has some sort of strange connection with the moon, and these are all. The funny part about this is when I contact people, I just contact people solely on channeling, astrology, spirituality, all this stuff. And then usually somebody has a paranormal experience. Most people walking around have paranormal experiences. They usually don't talk about them, but they have them. And then I usually go to the people, and that's usually the first types of stuff I talk about is what's going on with you spiritually? Is there paranoia? And so usually they open up, and so most of the people that contact me usually contact me coming from that perspective. So I'd like to get them on the phone together. The person who was telling me about the moon and asking me about ET genetics and all that stuff, I'd like to get them on the phone and do an astrology reading, just sort of stand back and let the interview go and let them go back and forth and kind of hear what can come up. I think that'd be most interesting. All right.